Well, here we are. I thought I'd do a bit of a comparison, seeing what things look like in Flight Simulator 2020 compared to the real world. And in particular, we're a big fan of the national parks, and so we wanted to see what some of the national parks look like in Flight Simulator 2020. And so right now, we are headed to one of our favorite parks, the north rim of the Grand Canyon. And as you can see, we're flying over the road. We're headed from the north, headed south towards the north rim. And in the distance there, you can see some little buildings and stuff. That is where the lodges and then all the cabins are. If you've never come to the north rim, there's a couple things that are a little different than the south rim. One, it's heavily wooded, which is really cool, and it actually does keep it cool even in the summer months. Usually 10 or 15 degrees cooler than the south rim. It is also partly because it's about 1,000 feet in elevation higher than the south rim. And as you can see here, we're coming up on the cabins, and the lodge is that big building right in front of me. So I'll give you guys a top-down view. We stayed at the cabins twice on our trips here, or 3 times, 2 or 3 times. You can see they're just these neat little cabins. Of course, this is just a representation, but now we're flying over the lodge, and boom, Bright Angel Point, and there's your view of the Grand Canyon. Pretty close to what you would see in real life, and as you can see, we're flying in the afternoon. To the right, to the west, is the sun. I wanted to check out in particular and go see what Cape Royale looks like. But before we do that, we'll just do one more pass over the lodge. If you've never been to the North Rim, there is one big thing to note. The entrance to the North Rim is actually quite a bit distant from the rim itself. It's, if I remember correctly, about a 40-minute drive in from where you first come into the park to the actual rim. And so that's something to keep in mind. It surprised us the first time we came out. Ooh, dropped my microphone. Almost crashed my plane. That's always good. Priorities, man. But yeah, so that is something that's good to note. Here's a little bit of a pro tip, at least if you like pizza. It happens to be a pro tip. The lodge, at least when they're available, which isn't always, but typically has pizzas available. They're really reasonable in price, and they're good, hearty, thick pizzas. You can pick them up right there at the lodge and then walk out to the overlook and enjoy a pizza with one of the greatest views in the world. Or, if you want, what we have done on a couple occasions, we've gone out to Cape Royale to go out in that location, and pizza's a little cooler by that point, but the views, they're just something else. And so that's where we're headed right now. And here we go. I'm probably going to fast forward through this part. But as you can see, North Rim, maybe I won't. North Rim is really, it's pretty stunning. Even more so in person, of course, but this is pretty close. It brings back memories. You can see the different folds and the different, even some of the striation and the different rock layers. And of course, from here to the very bottom, which is way ahead of us, we are about it's about 5,000 feet. So it's a real deep canyon. And we're flying right at the top on the north side, so we're at, well, you can see that, about 8,400 feet, and we're just right at level with the top of the canyon. And so if you ever go to Cape Royale, plan about 45 minutes of driving time. We almost inevitably always try to get out there in the evening and then just barely make it for sunset because I underestimate how much time it takes to get out there. So a good 45 minutes, even an hour. That's not a bad call, and even by airplane here, it's taken us a few minutes. We're about 2 minutes out from the lodge, and we're still flying. I think we're getting closer, though. You can see that's the formation. I forget the name of that formation. I should maybe put that in a video, but which is, it's pretty epic. Sun hits it, especially in the summer, really pretty at sunset. And you get an awesome view. So we're almost there now. I'm going to gain a little altitude as we get over there, show you where the parking lot is and that sort of thing. And maybe at the end we'll attempt a landing. Last time I attempted the landing didn't work out so great. Well, the landing worked fine. Takeoff, I hit an invisible tree or something, I'm not sure what, and it said I crashed. Yeah, overall these graphics, there's something else. We can look to our right there and just see that view. It's just stunning. Look, even straight down, look at that. I am turning a little bit, don't want to do that. Just a stunning view looking behind. See where we came from. And then look to our left there and see one of the ravines formed by that erosion. Alright, so we're coming up on Cape Royal now. And we'll also take a look. I'm curious to see if we have an actual window at Angel's Window or just the formation itself. It's also accessible right here. It's a little bouncy right at the top of the canyon. You can see that with the plane. That's not me doing that. It's turbulence. Yeah, we're almost to the top here. And so Angel's Window is this great formation. I don't know, it's several hundred feet, probably 1,000 feet tall. And out of the middle of it is a big opening you can see straight through. And you can walk out even onto the window over that big opening, and some of our kids are not too big on that idea, but I've always enjoyed it. Alright, so here, right down here, right in front of the aircraft, you can see the parking lot. That's the parking lot to Cape Royal and Angel's Window. You can see some of the roadway there. It is curvy. You will see deer often, so be careful driving, especially if you're coming back at night. Alright, there is Angel's Window right to our right here. And there is no window. It's just a cliff looking thing. So that's not quite accurate, but boy, that looks almost exactly like what you see from the overlook. And this is one of my favorite overlooks, and wow, that is stunning. That's pretty close to what you see at about an hour before sunset. I think I've only been there once, an hour before sunset. Typically it's much later. But yeah, that's what you see. And so there's the moon up there. We're technically flying today, just several hours in the future. You can see just some beautiful cloud formations. So loop back around here, head towards the parking lot. This is probably from this point, which is right about under that right wing there, which is this beautiful overlook. From there to the parking lot, maybe 200 or 300 yards. It's a little bit of a walk, but it's well worth it. The view is just stunning. There are porta potties or permanent toilets there, which is helpful. And as you can see, we're running. You can see the road there. It does bob and turn a lot, so you do need to be careful and be mindful. It's not a high-speed road. Airplane, it is considerably faster. I don't know if you can actually fly out here like I'm flying. In real life, probably not. Boy, it does make for a great view. Alright. Well, I think that will conclude at least this part of the video. I might fast forward a little bit, show you guys what sunset looks like, but boy, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And that looks pretty real. You know, where the cliff is sheer, you get some weird pulling of the image, but other than that, it looks awfully close to real. That is just so cool. Alright, I'm back. Just real briefly, thought I'd show you guys what sunset looks like from Cape Royal. So again, we're in North Rim, Grand Canyon, and this spot right here, I'm going to head right back to it. It's about a hour's drive to be safe. I said 45 minutes. Let's say an hour just to be safe from the lodge. So plan accordingly. You want to be there probably at least a half hour before sunset. Keep in mind it is about a 7, 8, 10 minute walk if you're walking a little slower, more leisurely, out to the last overlook, which is that overlook That's my favorite, at least, for sunset photos. Sunrise, Angel's Window would probably be better, but again, you see the parking lot, and right here, where my left wing is pointing, that's where the overlook is. So there is some distance that you need to keep in mind for that walk. Again, I'm a little disappointed there's no window at Angel's Window in Flight Simulator 2020, but still makes for one great tour. Whoa, look at that sunset. Boy, that's beautiful. Should probably try to not fall out of the sky though while I'm doing it. I'm gonna do a quick lap here. I'm gonna show you guys the perspective you get from the overlook. So we're gonna go through there. You can see just a little bit right there, the Colorado River, and actually from the overlook you can just see little bits and peaks of the Colorado. Not much, but it doesn't make it any less breathtaking. Yeah, so I'm gonna come around a little more rudder. All right, and this, more or less, this point right in front of me is where you get the view. That is your sunset view, and it's just absolutely stunning. Even this, as beautiful as it is, just doesn't do it justice. It's just so beautiful. Yeah, that is the view you get of the Grand Canyon from the North Rim. Well worth a visit. And this is at late August, just to give you where the sun's setting time frame. Whew, that's beautiful. If you guys enjoy, click subscribe, like, all those things. We definitely appreciate it. Thanks.